there, how's everybody doing today? Today I want to talk to you about implementing somebody else's strategy, verbatim, meaning step by step, and why it probably won't work. All right, so here's a little story for you. I'm in a mastermind, I host a mastermind, and the day of the mastermind, I had gotten an email from this pretty high-end coach in the online space where she sent out this Instagram connection strategy in an email. And it was really good. I liked it. I wrote it down. I shared it with them. It was talking about ways to make connections, doing searches in a certain way, and actually like engaging on people's content, sending them comments, etc. It was a really good strategy and it felt authentic when she did it. It did not feel spammy in any way. Like it really felt authentic for her. And when she shared it, it looked authentic. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. I like the way she actually worded that. And so I was sharing it with the mastermind girls, and we all really liked it. And we were talking about different ways you could change it up and implement it. And then literally the call ends, and one of the members gets this bomb of messages, which is essentially, it was that woman's strategy. And it felt so spammy because it was like a comment, the language was verbatim. And now, granted, she knew what the strategy was because we had just talked about it. So she immediately thought it felt spammy. But the reality is it wasn't authentic to this woman, right? It was not authentic to her and to her business. The conversation wasn't authentic to the person in my mastermind who she was sending the message to. And so here's what I'm trying to say is that you can take that strategy. So for example, to give you a little bit more context, she was talking about using this strategy by finding people via a hashtag. All right. My thought on it was, well, when you get a new follower, this is a great way to make that immediate connection and engagement. Once they've already connected to you, this is a great strategy for really making that new engagement and that new connection, right? And so I was taking her strategy and saying, okay, well, I'm not going to do this to random strangers, but if somebody connects with me, I like this style. So that's where I'm saying, like, you can take somebody's strategy, but you've got to implement it to what you would do in your own business, right? If you would never send a random message out to somebody in a DM like that, but you might send a little voice memo, or you might like their post, or you might engage on their story and start a conversation that way, then do that. Like, you have to take the parts of the strategy. And then customize them to you, your business, your voice, your brand, your tone, etc. And what I see all the time in the online space is that people are selling you their strategies that work. Well, it worked for them, but you aren't them. So you're not going to be able to implement it the same way that they did. You're not going to be able to be authentic in that same way because it was authentic to them. But it doesn't mean you can't do it, and it doesn't mean that you can't take pieces of it, and it doesn't mean that you can't make it your own. That's what I'm saying. Like, just like this strategy, would I have done it to these random strangers? No. Would I have done it in that fast-paced mode that she does it? No. But could I say, okay, well, I like step one was to connect with somebody new. Step two was to engage on their story. Step three was to send them a message. Step four was to continue the conversation. She talks about doing it all in one fell swoop. My thought was move it along a week, right? Like, continue, like, slow the process down a little bit. Yes, it's a little bit longer, but that strategy feels more in alignment for me because that's how I would just in general make conversation, would be over time. Like, hey, you liked your post, you would make a genuine comment, then maybe you would start the conversation, then you would continue the conversation, right? So what I'm trying to say here is make sure that if you are implementing somebody else's strategy, so let's say you bought a DIY program, somebody's selling you their strategy, that's wonderful. Make sure you're actually like looking at it and going, would I do this in my own business? Does this sound like me? Does this sound like something I would say? Does this sound like something I would do? Does this align with who I am? Does this align with my values? Does this align with my goals and vision for my business? And if the strategy verbatim, which 90% of the time is not going to, because it's, again, not yours, it's somebody else's, figure out how you can just make those small little adjustments. The small little adjustments are what's going to make it authentic to you. And when it's authentic and it's standing in integrity and it feels good, the results are going to be that much better, right? Because people want to deal with authentic people. They do not want to deal with robots. We deal with computers all day long. We get on the phone and you press 1 for this, press 2 for that. We don't want to deal with computers. We don't want to deal with robots. We don't want to deal with this automation. We want to deal with human beings. So put a little bit of human relationship behind the strategy that you're trying to implement, and I promise you it's going to go a whole lot further. Okay, so that way you're not also being taken as spam. Because what happened was this woman saw that other strategy. She knew immediately what she was trying to do. And guess what? Did she respond to her? Absolutely not. Because she knew she was only reaching out to her because XYZ person said this is how you get new clients. And she was onto it, right? And she knew it wasn't authentic. She knew she didn't give two shits about her. She didn't care whether or not, what she was doing. She wasn't making genuine conversation. She was just following a script. And it was obvious. And so you don't want to be that person. That's not going to get you the results you're looking for. That's a numbers game, right? So all she had to do was just simply change up that strategy just a tiny, tiny bit. And I guarantee my friend in the mastermind probably would have responded if she had changed it up just a little bit. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that these strategies don't work. Of course they do. Of course they do. You have to learn from other people that have been there, done that. And we are here to share what works. We're here to say, hey, I tried this and it worked. But it worked for me. Now here's how we make it work for you, right? That's all I'm saying here. Figure out how you can take somebody else's strategy for what worked with them and figure out how you can make it work for you, your business, your brand, your clients, all of the above. Just those small little tweaks, simply little things can make a world of difference and get you 10 times the results than just implementing something verbatim. All right, that's all I got for you today. Don't forget, if you're liking this, if you're loving it, whatever, please subscribe, share, tag me on social media, share it in your stories, and tag some friends that you think could benefit from this. I would 100% greatly appreciate it. And if you do, I might even buy you a cup of coffee. All right, we'll talk soon.